how much this is actually sunk. As you can definitely see that we have our bedding material. You can see how this can become a problem. What's happening, hardscapers? Let's talk about what you should not do with your raised patio. Let's get into this. So we've got this raised patio here. Client called us up, said pavers were sinking around the edges. So I want to talk to you about dense graded base, open graded base. Both have their applications, but in my opinion, with a raised patio like this, I always like open graded base. So with this raised patio, what you have is a retaining wall border with caps on top, backfill in behind the retaining wall, and then build your pavers on top of that, matching the step caps. So with that, you have two different base options. You have dense graded base, which uses a concrete sand bedding material. Now there's no concrete in it, it's just the sand name. It's got subangular particles down to very fine materials, and that's placed on top of a 3/4 inch down to fines base, and that's dense graded base, traditional base, and it definitely does have its applications. But in a project like this, where we prefer a open graded base, and that is HPB as the bedding layer, 1 inch layer. You can see it's a 1/4 inch chip. There's no fine materials in it, there's no sand, dust. It's completely clear of that. Clear stone, and this goes on top of a base of 3/4 inch clean stone, which is basically the same thing but 3/4 inch in size, not 1/4 inch or 3/8 of an inch. And what that does is that water is going to go right through it. There's no material that's going to hold on to water like a dense graded base. Still will drain, it'll just take longer. So with a raised patio, that water is going to go right through any water that does infiltrate the joints, even if you do use polymeric sand, and it's going to go down and out of your system wherever you're redirecting the water to. But with a dense graded base, it's going to hold on to that water a little bit longer, and that water is going to find a path of least resistance. In this case, that path of least resistance is through the face of the retaining wall. No matter how tight you're going to get your retaining wall, there's going to be small areas for that sand, which you can see along here, to escape from. But with a 1/4 inch chip, that is too large to fit through the face of the retaining wall, and you don't experience that same washout in this raised patio application. So that's why we like to use open graded base for raised patios. In addition to that, we can install not just polymeric sand, but a semi-permeable jointing compound in the joints, so that water goes right through. You can notice on this project, we have a slope on this project. This retaining wall is also sloped, which I don't like, but that is one way to build a raised patio, so that the retaining wall is sloped away from the foundation. The pavers are also sloped away from the foundation. That way the paver height matches the retaining wall height. But if you use semi-permeable jointed compound, you can lay it flat. Now, caveat to that, if you have a lot of trees overhead and there's possibility that those joints are going to get clogged over time, maybe not the best solution, but you can install a drain somewhere in the patio to capture that water, slope towards that drain, whether it's along the edge or somewhere in the middle of the patio that you can slightly slope to, capture that water and move it out of the system. So you can see how much this is actually sunk. About an inch or so, and then a little bit less as we get closer to the foundation, but definitely a lot of settling. And this is where I don't like using dense graded base for especially a raised patio, because you can definitely see that we have our bedding material, concrete sand, coming through the face of the wall. So you can definitely see different areas where this is washing out in this wall. No matter how tight you get your wall, those are the weak points. And over time, as the wall does move or shift, there's going to be smaller and smaller openings, and that is going to cause a washout through that wall. Now you can put geotextile on the other side of this wall to prevent that washout, but then that puts more pressure on your wall, which is the outside of your raised patio, and we don't like to do that, so that's why we like to use open graded base for raised patios. You can see how this can become a problem over time with dense graded base. These ants have started to create a colony within the sand, and that's why we don't like dense graded base, because that's going to cause settling over time, and that's an issue. Dense graded base is the ant's dream. And as your polymeric sand around those pavers, around the caps and beyond starts to fill, it's gonna let more and more water in, especially as more and more cracks show up. So that water permeation through that joint is going to only increase in the future, which means more washout in the system, more failure to come with that. And that's with a dense graded base, whereas with an open graded base, it's less susceptible to washout because it's angular in nature and interlocks with one another. Another benefit to open graded base over dense graded base. Once again, not to say that there's not an application for dense graded base, I just don't believe that a raised patio in some cases requires a dense graded base. So what we ended up doing for this client was pressure wash the patio, get that old polymeric sand out of there so that there's less water permeation through those joints, at least for the near future, and clean up those pavers, getting all the old dirt and debris off of them to clean them up, reinstall new polymeric sand, as well as lift all of the border pavers, add a little bit more bedding material to raise them back up. And I like those border pavers to be about 1/8 of an inch above the caps so that we get good water runoff. Remember, when we install polymeric sand, that sand needs to be 1/8 of an inch below the bottom of the chamfer or top of paver. And that's our lowest point where the water is going to find. So we need to make sure that our pavers are at least 1/8 of an inch above those caps so that that water continues to find the lowest point and off of our raised patio. Hey, I hope this video has helped you in some way. If it has, please give this video a like, comment below any questions you may have, and subscribe to this YouTube channel for more hardscaping content like this. Thank you so much for watching.